Right then, welcome back. Today, we're going to do a setup for this. The 2019 BMW S1000RR race bike. Race modified. Not endurance, not street. Full on, full fat race bike. Can't do a lot to it when you buy one from the dealership. You can change the colour of the wheels. And that's about it. Tried to match the subframe. Didn't work. Spent about an hour doing it. Got very frustrated and upset, but I thought I was colourblind for a while, but apparently not. The playlist, or the event list that I picked for this, was the British Rookie Cup in the Euro League. Bad idea, tiny little tracks. Tiny little tracks, fast motorcycle equals trouble. Big, big trouble. Set everything to 2 and 8. I had done a couple of races with this in the past, the endurance bike more so. And my brain very quickly melted about as fast as he flew off his bike then. This is a quick motorcycle. It is extremely fast. I've been playing a lot of Gran Turismo. I've been playing a lot of Shipbreaker. Gran Turismo is quite steady, apart unless you're using some of the daft cars. And the switch from Gran Turismo 7 to this was, well, it was quite difficult because the speed of this bike was just on a different level. It took a fair while for my brain to wrap itself around how fast this bike was and the braking points and everything else, and using a different controller because I've been using the wheel on the PlayStation and back to an Xbox controller. I mean, I thought the Xbox controller was really nice. It's not. The PlayStation one is much better. I mean, not that I use it very much, I use the wheel, but yeah, the Xbox controller is not as nice. But anyway, that's an argument for another time. Other opinions are available. We did 3 laps, we won, and we realised there was way too much energy in the front of the bike. So we went to do some testing, a time attack, whatever you want to call it. We took one off of the front preload. One off the front preload, added one to the front spring hardness and one to the front compression. Try and give the front a little bit more support, try and move a bit of energy rearward. Now, the bike was stepping out a little bit on the rear, but we can't fix both ends at once. You can only play with one end at once. Remember that. Top tip from Mr. Motto, you can only play with one end at once. We did 14 laps and we ended up on a 39.3. About 1.3 seconds faster than we'd gone in the race, and we ended up with a bike that finally, CC Peniston style, finally would turn into a corner, because during the race it did not. It was quite understeery, it looked quite amateurish. The bike would not go anywhere near an apex. Once we made these changes, it was much, much better on the front end. The back end was still a bit wayward, but look how nice she is through Hall bends, over the brow, into the hairpin, very nicely controlled. Stand it up, get on the gas, bit of a wheelie, bit of a slide, look at that as well. Through barn corner, tucked in very nice. Still wants to go sideways at the back, but we're going to fix that after we've done the race at Brands Hatch, because Brands Hatch showed us something else. So yes, quick, nice to use. Now we've fixed the front, so now we need to go somewhere and fix the rear. We would have gone 8th on the leaderboards. Top S1000RR. The Panigale V4R seems to be the boy when it comes to race bike leaderboards. Race 2, Brands Hatch, Indy, not the GP, Indy. So about 7 seconds a lap. Again, way too small for this motorcycle. Paddock Hill, normally a bit of carnage at Paddock Hill. Druids, plenty of carnage. I would rather go around the outside of the riders there than try and go around the outside of riders here. For some bizarre reason, we got away with it. On both corners, there wasn't a massive amount of bikes flying about, there wasn't riders pirouetting through the air, and we got away with it. A bit of hip and shoulder, that was a bit rude, but needs must and all that jazz. And the bike was a bit of a handful. The reason being, the rear tyre, or the rear end of the bike, didn't want to drive forwards. It wanted to drive sideways, and it wanted to spin around in circles and cremate. And I mean absolutely bonfire the rear tyre. It just destroyed it. Yes, I used a soft. I didn't think the acceleration zones were as brutal as they were going to be, and we ended up absolutely putting that soft rear tyre through, well, you'll see in a minute. So out of Clark Curve down the straight, it just lights it up and keeps lighting it up all the way down the straight across the finish line. So there's a little bit of work to do on the bottom. So yeah, went to do some testing, time attack, did a 43.077, which is about 7 tenths faster than when in the race. Now, This is pre-changes. You can see the bike's going sideways. It's driving forward a little bit, but predominantly it's out of shape, it's sideways. 43.9. Could not get any quicker. Could not get any faster. It just would not drive anymore, so I thought, no, we need to make some changes. So I took one off the rear spring hardness, and I took one off the rebound and compression at the rear. So spring hardness, one click off. I know I added a click then, but I thought, no, that's the wrong way, and one click off and that. And for some reason, I edited it out, but we ended up on 0 clicks on the rebound and compression on the bottom. Ooh, sir. Suits you, sir. What a difference, sir. Different motorcycle, sir. 3 clicks. How much time do you think 3 clicks are worth? Well, if you were paying attention 30 seconds ago, you'd know that we did a 43.077. So that's almost a second. Almost 1 second for 3 clicks on the suspension. Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned, I have a confession. I did go to a medium rear tyre, but in theory a medium has less grip than a soft, but it does take a bit more temperature, so maybe it's a medium tyre and 3 clicks on the suspension are worth a second between them. But still, look at the difference out of Clark Curve. You can see the chassis now, it's starting to dig in, it's starting to drive forward, it's starting to just wheelie a little bit, which means we've got the chassis doing what we want, the suspension and the tyre working together. If you brake too late though, you will fire your rider to the moon. And we ended up 15th. Again, was it top? I don't know if it was top. No, it wasn't. There's an S1000RR above it, and they probably one on page 1. But to be honest, it was not about being the top bike. It's just about getting a good setup. Race 3, Oulton Fosters. Yes, had a bit of a problem at Oulton because I got cocky and carried away and thought I'll smoke them because I like Oulton Fosters. It's one of my favourite tracks, and what I ended up doing was crashing a lot. So I had a breath, went away, had a cup of tea. It's a stupendously British thing to say, isn't it? I got a bit annoyed, so I went away and had a cup of tea. Caffeine is my solution, surely not. And we had quite a nice race, actually, a nice little ding-dong. No, we didn't win. Owen Brown, on whatever missile they were on out front, was way quicker than we were, so there was no chance of us catching that particular rider. But look at the drive. The drive out of there past that Suter MMX was rather nice. But yeah, the bike was much better. Again, I didn't realise, and it's amazing that after many tens of thousands of miles on this game, you still learn things. Oulton is a predominantly rear wheel heavy circuit, as in you're driving, but I guess down out of Lodge and up over, is it Deer's Leap? Yeah, up over Deer Leap, you can see the bike digging in and driving forwards, and then again through the first corner, which is quite fast, and then you're on the gas. So I guess it makes sense. It's just something that I've never really thought about before. But yeah, we ended up doing a 55.407, which would have been top 25-ish on the leaderboard. It wasn't a perfect race. We were running wide, but the bike, because the front end and back end were now working properly, yes, I was carrying a bit of speed and getting a bit giddy, even though I said I was going to try and calm down. The bike was opening doors for us that were allowing us to make those moves and go past on the brakes and do whatever. I mean, look how it holds a line through there. Just a little bit of slide, a little bit of drive, a little bit of wheelie. It's just nice. It just looks lovely. It felt nice. It was just nice if you hadn't already worked that out. I did go a bit mad and did loads of laps, but I was just enjoying it. There was a lot of foul laps because I kept running off or nipping a corner here and there or bouncing over a curb. I didn't make any changes for the time attack. The testing just slapped a hard tyre in the rear, so I got hard front, hard rear, just to manage that energy differential a little bit. And I don't know if the physics engine goes so far as the carcass strength on soft, medium or hard tyres. I will be amazed if it does. I know Forza Motorsport, Forza 8, whatever you want to call it, are making a big hoo-ha over how they've factored in tyre carcass strength into wear profiles and how the cars feel and bits and bobs. So I'll be genuinely amazed if it's in Ride 4. But stick a hard, it might just be placebo, but stick a hard tyre in the rear and it seems to sit the bike on its nose a little bit more. It seems to be a little bit more positive. It seems to want to change direction a little bit more quickly. So it could just be my brain kidding me and convincing me it's right, but that's the way that it feels. And we did a 54.4, about a second quicker. We'd already done a 53.8 on the Kawasaki, on the ZX10, so a 54.489 would have put us in 16th. So again, top S1000 probably. There's probably an S1000 somewhere in there, but it's not a great bike on the leaderboards. We'll come to that. Electronics, anti-wheelie 2, engine braking 2, traction 0, tyres, run what you want. It will run everything, just be careful because it will cook a soft tyre. Pros is stupid fast. It is not just coming from a different console and game, it is just a quick motorcycle. It builds speed sort of like 60 to 150 very quickly. It's kind to its tyres. It will run pretty much anything. If you're really pushing on, you will have to run a medium or hard, and I feel other opinions are available from different vendors, but I think it's the most balanced 4-cylinder 1000cc race bike. I think it's nicer to ride than the MV. I think it's a bit more subtle in the way that it does things than the Honda and the Kawasaki. It's nice. I enjoy it. I'm not normally a massive fan of BMWs, but I much prefer a Honda, but this thing in the game just feels better. Cons, the speed can overwhelm. It feels like it's pulling your eyes out, which means you need to be mega accurate on your braking points. 5 metres past with too much speed, you're in the gravel or the barrier. And it's not great on the leaderboards. I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised it's not great on the leaderboards. I thought it'd be quicker, but the Panigale V4 just seems to rule the roost. The Aprilia, even the Kawasaki to an extent. And that's it. And before we go on, don't forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed it and you liked it, and hit the bell icon and all the usual stuff that we all ask you to do to support the channel and other bits and bobs, because we're going in the right direction. The figures are going up, so we're going in the right direction. I enjoyed it that much that I'm going to add it to my little fleet. So that's 2010 RS V4R, V4 Street Fighter S road bike, RC213 VS road bike, and now that. And I'm going to build a little fleet up, and we're going to do all the racing and all the events, and we'll spread it about, and that's what we'll do. But that's your lot. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, and all the usual jazz, and fingers crossed I will see you next time. Take care, stay safe, peace.